Toy Story is a movie that was released on November 22nd in 1995. It's a kid-friendly movie that many people love and have seen more than once. What many people don't know is that there's a forgotten storyboard reel for the original Toy Story movie. The footage was so dark that when presented on November 19th of 1993, it almost caused the cancellation of the film. Jeffrey Katzenberg was the chairman of Disney at the time and made demands for the movie to be more adult tone and wanted it to have edge. John Lasseter was the writer and director of Toy Story. He stated that the Disney executives that seen the movie hated it, and he felt embarrassed throughout the screening of the film. The overall tone was unhappy. Various members of production stating Woody became wildly unappealing. Over half the film was already complete at the time. The producers then asked for 2 weeks to get everything redone. When John Lasseter and the rest of the crew went to remake the film, this time they decided to make the movie how they wanted it. Andy's toys were placing bets on which toy he would pick to take with him to Pizza Planet. Then this happened.
Woody! I'd just like to wish you luck. I know you'd do the same for me.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, there you go.
Whoa! Whoa!
What? What are you, what's everybody looking at? What? Hey, he slipped. I tried to, I couldn't hold that. It was he slipped. Hey, I don't see him. I think he fell onto the street.
Yeah, he's as good as roadkill. He ain't going to pizza now.
Woody, you deliberately threw Buzz out the window.
Hey, it's a toy world.
Cowboy, where is your honor, dirtbag? You are an absolute disgrace. You don't deserve to wear a 10-gallon hat on your pint-sized head. Men, search and rescue. I want a medevac team on the double. Hustle up. Move it.
Hey, spuds for brains. What do you think you're doing? Off the bed. Hey, off the bed.
You gonna make us, Woody?
No, he is. Slinky. Slinky! Get up here and do your job! Are you deaf? I said take care of them!
I'm sorry, Woody, but I have to agree with them. I don't think what you did was right.
What? Am I hearing correctly? You don't think I was right? Who said your job was to think, Spring Wiener?
Well, I just thought that
use
you...
this vast reserve of brain power to consider this for a moment. If it wasn't for me, Andy wouldn't pay any attention to you at all. In fact, my sketchy friend, you would have been hauled away to Goodwill a long time ago, so shut your mouth and get them off the bed. Do it. Now, Slink, or I'm throwing you off.
You're gonna have to throw the two of us off.
Make that 3. Count me in.
No, Woody. You get your butt off the bed.
I don't believe this. Are you threatening me?
Yeah. Get off the bed, ranch hand, and we're throwing you off.
You and what army?
Here he is, that dirtbag. Frag him. Move. Take no prisoners. Go for him. Go for the kill.
1, 2. Stop! Don't throw him off the bed.
Yeah.
Throw him out the window like he did to Buzz.
The character of Woody was redesigned to be a leader and to be Andy's favorite toy. John and the production team reworking the movie how they wanted was a great decision, and would be worked into the movie we all know and love today. I'm glad Toy Story was changed, but I would like to see the original version one day, to see the differences in the plot and characters. It's always a possibility of it being released one day on a DVD extra, or just for an anniversary for Disney. So that is the dark side of Toy Story. Clerks is an independent comedy film that was directed, written, and produced by Kevin Smith and released in 1994. It shows a day in the life of 2 store clerks, Dante Hicks and Randall Graves, along with other characters popping in throughout the movie like Jay and Silent Bob. This is one of my favorite films of all time and has an amazing backstory that I plan to cover in a future video. Today, we're going to talk about the biggest failure related to the movie, the Clerks sitcom pilot. Seeing that Clerks was a huge success, bringing in over $3 million at the box office, the next year in 1995, TV executives wanted to make a show based on the movie. The pilot episode features comedian Jim Brewer, who played the stoner in Half-Baked. It starts out with the description, Touchstone Television, and says, "Not for air" in bold print. I watched the full episode, and it's almost unbearable. The comedy and jokes just try too hard, in my opinion, and are cringeworthy at times. Just so you can get a feel of the episode, I'll show a clip of it here.
So what are you doing back in town? I thought you were going off to college.
Graduated. Next week I start at Meyerson and Orbach in New York. That's a law firm.
Oh, yeah, Meyerson and Orbach. They were here last week for nachos.
So, Dante, this is your life, huh? I really admire the way you never got caught up in that whole dignity thing. Veronica.
Cliff! Hi!
Wait, well, you two know each other?
Yeah, Cliff took out a girl from my accounting class.
Not that she was my first choice.
Well, Cliff, I would really love to stand here and chat forever, but we're getting ready to close.
Thought you're open 24 hours.
Yeah, but not at night.
What did you do that for? He's a nice guy.
The guy's a narc and a coward. If you've gone to high school with him, you would know.
Yeah, you remember the time we were painting Bookley Tower?
Why were you painting Bookley Tower?
Oh, just a little thing called tradition. Every year, a group of seniors would go up to the tower and deface it. Of course, kids these days can't be bothered. Punks.
The writing is terrible, but how could it be so bad just 1 year apart from the successful movie Kevin Smith wrote? Well, that's just it. Kevin Smith was not even aware that the pilot was being filmed. Another thing that might shock you is that Brian O'Halloran, who played Dante in Clerks, and Jeff Anderson, who played Randall, auditioned for roles in the sitcom but didn't get the part. So the writer and two main actors of Clerks were not involved with the sitcom? This was a train wreck from the start. It looks like someone enjoyed the movie and wanted to turn it into something of their own. Reportedly, Jeff Anderson and Brian O'Halloran were glad they didn't get parts in the show after seeing how bad it was. The pilot was put together by Michael Lasik, who is attached to a number of low-budget films. It's rumored that Kevin Smith considered adding the episode to a 10th anniversary Clerks DVD, but didn't even make it through a few minutes of it and scrapped the idea. Other than a review from 2006 by IMDb, the Clerks pilot episode was lost for 20 years until it was uploaded in full on January 25th of 2015. This was an attempt to turn Clerks into a TV-friendly sitcom. The comedy was just too turned down. Clerks just doesn't connect in that form. If you want to try and give it a watch, the pilot is on YouTube. I would like to know what you think of the pilot, so let me know in the comment section. Harold and Kumar are a stoner duo that always get themselves in trouble somehow. Harold Lee, played by John Cho, and Kumar Patel, played by Kal Penn, made their first appearance in Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle in 2004. This is a funny movie. I remember getting a few laughs out of it. Audiences really liked the film, and it was a success. On April 25th in 2008, Harold and Kumar Escape from Guantanamo Bay was released in theaters. This is the first Harold and Kumar film I watched. It was hilarious, and the storyline was bizarre. Neil Patrick Harris plays a drug addict womanizer version of himself in the movies. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle and Escape from Guantanamo Bay got so popular, the films gained a cult following. A Very Harold and Kumar 3D Christmas was released on November 4th in 2011. This movie is a sequel to Guantanamo Bay. I haven't seen this one yet, but it's on my extensive list of movies and shows to watch. These are the 3 movies made of the series so far. However, in 2012, word got out that the crew was working on a Harold and Kumar animated series. Kal Penn posted a tweet showing the characters and what I believe to be is a script for the show. Another tweet about the series came from writer and director of the Harold and Kumar films, John Hurwitz, After a table read for the animated series, he said it was, quote, insane, surreal, and hilarious, and that he couldn't wait for fans to see the show. In May of the same year, an article on Collider.com mentioned a schedule change for Adult Swim, and that they picked up an animated series based around Harold and Kumar. Kal Penn said in 2015, the pilot is about finished and hopefully airs soon. This is the last time the pilot has been mentioned. Unfortunately, other than the picture, there are no screenshots or video footage available from the pilot episode. John Cho and Kal Penn have moved on to different projects, but I believe this show would have been worth making and at least ran for one season. It's possible that the pilot was finished and submitted to Adult Swim, so it could be in their archives. But as far as being released to the public, I'd say the best chance of that happening is being released on a 3-pack of the Harold and Kumar films. Or if they ever decide to make another one. I could see it appearing as a bonus feature, and that is the lost pilot episode of the Harold and Kumar animated series. I hope this episode gets released one day. I'd really like to watch it. And it'd be awesome if they still decided to make the show in the future. It seemed like they really wanted to, but maybe they just couldn't get the right company behind it. Popeye the Sailor Man is one of the best classic cartoons of all time. In 2012, it was announced that a Popeye film was in production to be released under Sony Pictures Animation. Fans of the series were really excited about the news. A couple years would pass until footage of an animation test would be shown off as a trailer for the movie.
It's raining men!
How peculiar. Don't worry, Miss Oil. I'll save you.
Save me? Who's gonna save you?
I'll be right with you.
This is all just a dream. Ah!
I am sorry, just taking a little longer than I thought.
Popeye is voiced by Tom Kenny. The trailer was cool, but didn't show much of a story besides them running into Pluto on a ship and fighting off some pirates. The director of the film, Genndy Tartakovsky, creator of Dexter's Laboratory, Primal, Samurai Jack, and director of Star Wars Clone Wars the animated series, said during an interview in 2015 that he isn't working on the film anymore, stating, quote, I was in love with what we were doing, but I think the studio is going through changes, and I don't know if they want to make the Popeye that I want to make. He also mentions emails of Sony execs were leaked, revealing many changes to the film that he wasn't happy with. It's rumored that production of Popeye was cancelled so the team could focus on the Emoji Movie. That's just a joke in my opinion, and the movie failed anyway. This is a missed opportunity on Sony's part. Oftentimes, big companies don't appreciate the opportunity to make a great film and get in their own way instead of letting creative geniuses go to work. That seemed to be the case with Popeye the movie and Sony. After the release of the trailer and a few articles about the movie, word of Popeye went quiet until yesterday on May 11th. Animation Magazine announced that Tartakovsky's Popeye is starting from scratch and is going to be released under King Features instead of Sony Entertainment. Not many details have been released so far. I just hope it gets done right, and with director Genndy Tartakovsky in the driver's seat, I'm confident it will be. If this movie gets cancelled, then we're stuck with Popeye's Island Adventures and that 80s movie.
If anyone dares to risk, live fisk, it's buff and it's wham understands. So keep good behavior. That's your one lifesaver with Popeye the Sailor Man.
Let me know in the comments section if you're excited for the film, or if maybe too many years have gone by and you just don't care anymore. Clerks Sell Out is an animated movie that started production in September of 2003. The film was based off of the Clerks animated series that was created in the year 2000. I always really liked the character models in the show. They were designed by Steven Silver, who also worked on Danny Phantom and Kim Possible. Powerhouse Animation made some test footage for the film, and it was premiered the next year at Wizard World Dallas. The idea for the show had been around since 1995 and was pitched to numerous networks, being rejected every time. However, there was a 13-episode order from UPN, but Kevin Smith declined the offer in hopes of getting the show on a bigger channel. Also, a rumor was going around that UPN wouldn't be around too much longer. It was finally picked up by ABC and 6 episodes were created for the series. In 2000, ABC aired 2 episodes. Strangely, episode 4 was aired first, then episode 2 next. The second episode is a flashback to the first episode, so this confused the audience and led to low ratings. The show was then cancelled without being given a fair shot. The next year, all 6 episodes were released on DVD. The commentary features on the DVD shows cast members talking about the show and citing disagreements with the network during production. In December of 2002, the show would begin airing on Comedy Central, finally giving the series a chance and airing all episodes. Adult Swim started showing Clerks the animated series in 2008 on Friday nights. Kevin Smith made the speedy cancellation of the series somewhat a joke in scenes that would be later cut from the film Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Randall makes references to the animated series being cancelled. During commentary for episode 6 on the DVD, Smith said that the film would be in theaters. The movie was later planned to be a straight-to-DVD release. Clerks Sell Out was based around Dante and Randall creating a movie about themselves and day-to-day life working at the Quick Stop. The film's release ran into one delay after another, then word of the movie went quiet. The rights to the show are owned by Disney. Disney had a dispute with the company who wanted to make the movie. This halted production. In 2007 at a Q&A, Kevin Smith said due to the argument between companies, quote, "You will see a Jay and Silent Bob cartoon before Clerks Sell Out." As of now, all we can see is a short clip made for the movie.
Beat it before I call the cops.
What would you be willing to trade for the flying car?
What do you mean?
Say some German scientist comes up to you and he says, "I have invented the flying car. I'll give it to you on one condition."
Well, what's the condition?
He's not going to tell you.
Then it's no deal.
The guy is offering you the flying car.
Yeah, but there's obviously a catch.
Who cares what the catch is? It's the flying car.
I enjoyed the footage and thought it looked promising, but hey, I thought the same thing when I saw the animated series on Adult Swim for the first time when I was younger. At the end of the clip, Randall refers to the flying car. This is a short film made by Kevin Smith. If you're a fan of his movies and content, you should check it out. All hope is not lost for seeing this movie one day. In 2011, Kevin Smith said on Twitter that Miramax got in touch with him about some new projects, and the possibility of reviving the Clerks animated series was brought up. Clerks 1 has always been one of my favorite movies. Number 2 was a pretty good movie, I enjoyed it, and the animated series is definitely underrated. There's always a possibility of this being released on a DVD feature one day, and hopefully there was more footage made that we haven't seen yet. Do you remember the Clerks animated series and its short-lived run on television? Or maybe you remember watching it years later on Adult Swim like I did. When it comes to animated sitcoms, Family Guy, South Park, and Futurama come to mind. But today, I'm going to talk about the most popular one of them all, The Simpsons. First created by Matt Groening in 1987 as shorts on The Tracy Ullman Show, fans loved the characters and storylines, so 2 years later, in 1989, the first official episode titled Some Enchanted Evening was set to air on Fox. Groening named The Simpsons Homer, Marge, Lisa, and Maggie after members in his own family, with Bart being a rewording of Brat. The episode begins with the kids and Homer not appreciating Marge as they rush off to school and work. Later on, it revolves around Homer and Marge hiring a babysitter to watch the kids as they need some time to themselves. The plot twist happens when it turns out that the babysitter is a thief and robs the Simpsons house. An interesting thing about the pilot episode is Klasky Supo was in charge of animation. Some of the characters in this look quite different. Animation of the episode was very rough, and it was heavily criticized after screening, so it never aired on television. After the massive failure of the pilot, show producers considered canceling The Simpsons at one point. This led to the crew having to remake the first few episodes, and the show's premiere getting pushed back for 6 months. On December 17th of 1989, The Simpsons finally premiered on Fox with the Christmas episode titled Simpsons Roasting on an Open Fire. It was greatly received by audiences around the world, sparking the beginning of the show we all know and love. The first season of The Simpsons won an Emmy Award, so it was a very smart decision to rework the show. That leaves me wondering, whatever happened to the original pilot? It was reworked and aired as the final episode of the first season. However, the first version with bad animation is lost. It has never been seen in full by the public, only by creators and the few people who attended the original screening back in '89. What we can see is the first 5 minutes. It was released as a bonus feature on The Simpsons' first season DVD. After watching the first part of the episode, I totally understand why this version didn't air. The Simpsons has aired for 31 seasons and currently consists of 684 episodes. It is still running to this day and doesn't look like it will end anytime soon. It's interesting to me that popular shows like Family Guy, The Proud Family, and The Simpsons have missing pilot episodes. In this case, it's understandable that Matt Groening probably just didn't want to release the full version due to how rough it looked. But it's always possible that it could have gotten lost throughout the years. I've always been a big fan of The Simpsons, so I hope this pilot episode gets released one day. Let me know in the comments section which lost pilot I should go over next, and until next time, stay up late productions.